I was going through St. Lo one day with a convoy, and I pulled over. Well, we stopped to check every hour we stopped to check our vehicle, check the fluids and so forth in the vehicles. And when I stopped, I noticed I saw some hair moving in the bushes down behind on a little hillside. And I thought, that looks like a little kid. And I walked over, and it was a little kid with a little bigger sister along with her. And that's a little kid right there. And her sister, they had been, a lot of families got split up. And there was nothing left of the town. But these two kids, they were hungry. Manger, food. And I had a couple of K rations. I said, what are you gonna do now? Mama Paris, the little one told me. And the other one's looking at me, looking at her as though she's telling tales out of school, They were just plain scared of everybody. Finally, somehow or other, between her little bit of English and my little book, that they gave us when we went over there, we got it out that they lived in a little town there, that their grandma lived in a little town near Paris, and they'd left. When they left, that's the only place they knew to go. They didn't know if their parents were dead or what. So I thought, well, maybe we can take them and get them someplace close to Paris. Maybe somebody else will take over from there. And I got them in my truck. We were about 50 miles down the road before the lieutenant saw the hair. He read me the riot act, and then he went in his Jeep and got a helmet out, and he said, let the big one stick her head up. He said, but put her hair under that damn helmet. He says, I'll see if there's any way we can get in contact with somebody that can take care of them. Well, we were not very far from Paris when he ran across some French, what do you call them? They had guerrillas. They had been fighting the guerrilla warfare, and so he pulled me over. He said, I talked to some people up here. They're going to take care of her. He said, you get her name and address, and he spoke pretty doggone good French. He said, get their name and address, and the address of where they're going, and everything, which I did from the girl. And when we pulled up, and these guys took the girls off of the truck, the lieutenant was shaking his finger at him, and telling him something. I didn't know what. He told me later. He warned him that we would be checking, and that I would be checking, and those damn girls better be delivered where they belong, And the funny part of it, we ran across, there was a road sign that said Sevres. And I thought, geez, that's familiar. And the address came back to me just like that, I said, Kelly, we're going up that hill. What do you mean? I said, I'm going to go see a girlfriend. He said, you're full of... I said, no, I'm not full of. I said, if she ain't there, there's going to be war declared. You're out of your tree. By then we're picking up a little French as we go, and of course a lot of the A lot of the French spoke some English. So we headed up this hill and asked directions a couple of times. Walked up. Oh, this kills me. Knocked on the door. Well, somebody saw the uniforms at the door, and they weren't gonna open it. And I kept knocking. I knew there was somebody there because I'd seen a curtain moving. And then a couple minutes later, I saw the curtain moving again, and then all of a sudden the door opened. Guillaume, this little one. Guillaume, that's William is Guillaume. And she come over, and we stayed overnight there, even though I was. And when I got back, they didn't even chew me out. Kelly told him about it. He said, I couldn't believe it. Because he didn't even know about it, because he had been in a different company at the time. But.
Well, we'll wait. Well, I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Till he tells us that, and then we'll. And you can kind of walk us through where you were. And then what happened with you, and then oh my goodness, got to talk about the Redball Express definitely, because we want to know what that is. Okay.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one guy about Pat.
I'm sure not. Yeah.
Flake.
Yeah. Well, not everybody's going to agree
What
with
a
him.
phrase was slang.
If I get up and leave during this time, it's because I've got an itchy throat, or my nose, I'm going to sneeze or something. So, okay. Well, I have to be careful how you shuffle papers too now, because I picked up last time too. Okay, is Eric ready?
Eric, you ready? You ready? Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My name is William J. Saunders. PFC 3560590. Unlike a couple of the predecessors here, I did not stay with the same outfit all through the war. In fact, I saw a lot of it from different perspectives. I went overseas as a replacement. I get over to France about around the 1st of August. I'm not sure just exactly when. They dumped us up on the above the beach in the hedgerows. A bunch of us were replacements. We didn't know what kind of replacements. We didn't know what they were going to do with us. And stayed there overnight. The following morning, a truck pulls up, and the officer and a sergeant get out, and they're looking for volunteers to drive truck. Well, you don't want to push a wheelbarrow, so nobody volunteered. Anybody had any experience driving trucks? I pretended I didn't hear it. And finally, this sergeant, he's going through the papers. They've got service records there. He says, Saunders, where's Saunders? I said, right here. He said, did you hear us asking for volunteers to drive truck? Yeah, but I wasn't going to volunteer. I don't have to volunteer. He said, we also asked you if anybody had any experience. You've had experience. I figured I'm in trouble, big trouble. Get the hell up on that truck. And then this kid that I'd gone over with, he was we kind of gotten friendly, although we hadn't met until at the port of embarkation, Camp Shanks, New York. And he said, I think I'll go with you, Bill. So the lieutenant said, go ahead, get up on the truck. The three of us got up on the truck, and they drove us, I don't know, probably 20 miles, and pulled up into there was woods on the left, woods on the right, woods in front, and woods behind. Nothing else but the devil, and they told us to get out. This lieutenant says, okay, Saunders, you see that? He said, I think it'd be the tallest tree right about there. As you head over that way. He said, your platoon is over that way. What the hell kind of a platoon? I don't know. Here they're asking me to drive truck, and then they tell me my platoon's over that way, and I couldn't see anything. Well, by golly, they had these trees camouflaged, these trucks camouflaged under the trees, so that from the distance we were, probably a quarter of a mile, we couldn't even see them. And we headed over there, and we discovered we had been drafted into the Redball Express. And we were told that we're going to drive and drive and drive and not, without any stopping, because railroads weren't operating, and we had to get the materials up to the troops. Okay, that's a lot better than what we'd expected. So I got my buddy to break in, and the two of us were on the truck for what was it, alternating, one sleeping, one awake for, about 2 weeks, I think. And then we were split up. They got enough trucks in there to split us up. They didn't have enough drivers, but they split so each one of us got our own truck again. Got our own truck. With a new company. And it continued the same way. We were driving up to the front, unloading. They usually did most of the unloading for us. We'd get up on the truck and toss gas cans or ammunition boxes, or later on bridge sections off of the truck, and soldiers up at the front would take them off and try to protect us till we got the hell out of there. It was about the time they took St. Lo, or just shortly after they took St. Lo, Patton made his breakout. And actually it was no breakout, there just wasn't anything in front of him, and he decided he was going to go to Paris whether anybody liked it or not. And I think that was his general idea, and they had a hell of a time keeping him from doing that to him. So anyhow, we're up and down the roads. We had a few German planes trying to stop us off and on, and it seemed to die down after a while. I remember one day a bunch of us had taken out, we'd put our trucks under trees, but they knew they were there, and we knew they'd be coming, trying to drop something on them through the trees, and we were just getting as far away from the trucks as we could until they got out of there. And then we saw this strange plane come sailing down with them, and never seen anything like it before. Twin fuselage. What in the hell is that? They got some new weapon, it was a P-38. And boy, oh boy, I tell you, from the time we saw those P-38s, I don't think we ever saw another German plane in the air. I mean, those guys cleaned house. And but we had our job was to get the material up where it was needed. And Patton had bypassed Paris. We went by we went by towns where they were still shelling them. I mean, where our troops were still shelling them.